Friends, yes, I'm going to make some adjustments, and no, I will not be editing these out. Friends, I want to first say that you have genius in you. I'm at, hopefully, Falsey or Fralsey. I'm going to get that name right. I'm going to ask you, you'll be seeing a Facebook message from me. I'm going to ask you to pronounce it spelling-wise. Like, is it F-A-W, like, say, Z, like, would it be Falsey, or almost like ball, Falsey? I want to get it right, because guess what? That's called respect. And I respect all of you. I'm at Falsey, Darling Harris, Cheryl Moore, Moore Daniels, Just All, and all of you that tune in. Marguerite, Gemma, Phil sometimes, Phil Charmers. Hopefully I had that right. You have genius in you, and I mean that. But I want to speak to you for a minute about your failures. Your dreams that collapsed. You didn't pass in school. You had campaigned for something and you lost. And it's hurtful. It really hurts. Especially if you're a politician, or not even a politician, but in politics. By default, technically politician, but you lost, and you lost in a bad way. I want to address that because it needs to be addressed. You didn't lose. Yes, you didn't win the election yet. But I want to say this, and I want you to hear me. I say unto you, if you lost in the election, you campaign again. Only this time, you change it up. I'm going to put that light on. It helps a little bit. You change up your strategy. You look for more people. You work on going down avenues that you did not go down, but you don't quit. One of you that I've mentioned here is destined to have a great victory politically. Destined. But that person must take the action. And if you think I'm speaking about you, yes, I mean you. The only reason why I don't mention your name in this context is for confidentiality. Now I want each and every one of you to think about Hillary Rodham Clinton. Whether you love her or you can't stand her, I want you to think. Hillary Rodham Clinton both won the election and lost the election. Imagine how hard that feels, how bad that feels. Hillary Clinton had almost 3 million more votes than Donald Trump. By right, she's the rightful president. Whether people want to accept it or not, she's the one the people chose 3 million more times. But imagine how you would feel if you were Hillary Clinton. She won, but because of an antiquated system, a dangerous system, it turns out, the Electoral College appointed Donald Trump. And we find out that they've actually broken the whole purpose and their required duties. In fact, I would argue that we, the people, should sue the Electoral College members individually and as a body. Because one of their provisions, and a lot of Americans don't know this, in addition to voting for the president and making sure that it's, quote unquote, not a popularity contest, they are not, and it's even in their charter, they're not supposed to allow any unstable man or inexperienced man in the White House to be elected. That's right. So they clearly are derelict of their duties. Now, let's get back to Hillary Clinton for a second. Imagine winning by 3 million more votes. America chose you. Then imagine what she's going through even now today, seeing all the things that are happening, seeing how Donald Trump is trying to undo life-sustaining policies. So now, I've said all that to say this. Maybe you are a politician and you lost your election by popularity, lack of the source of income. Maybe you were overcoming a cash flow problem. A cash flow challenge. Hillary Clinton is not a failure. You are not a failure. I want you to think about Thomas Edison. It took him 10,000 attempts before he successfully created the light bulb. It took him 10,000 tries. Him and his people. 10,000. I can assure that person that if they run again or campaign again, won't take them 10,000 times to win. But I will offer this. I will help them in some way, whichever way I can. But I want that person to go further. Not the office that that person had campaigned for before. If that's what they want to do, sure, I'm all for it. But I'm thinking state legislator. I'm thinking governor. I'm thinking lieutenant governor. I'm thinking becoming a House of Representative or a U.S. Senator. I'm thinking big. I know that there's genius in you. Why not think big? It's one thing that I agree 100% with Donald Trump. Don't limit your dreams. Don't limit your thoughts. That's right. With regards to the 2020 election, I am actively trying to get 3 people to campaign for public office for president. And I will reveal them now. All Democrats, well, 2 Democrats, 1 independent. Hillary Clinton for a 3rd time. And yes, she's going to get it this time, if she goes for it. Hillary Clinton would be 1. Bernie Sanders would be 2. But my boys and girls, I think might just be another one that'd be a good idea. Mrs. Michelle Obama. Oh, and I have one other person. I have a 4th one. Senator Elizabeth Warren. So either Clinton, Sanders, Michelle, or Warren. If any of those 4 become president of the United States, it's going to be a much better nation for all Americans. The Republican policies traditionally are good for huge millionaires. Well, not huge millionaires, millionaires with lots of cash flow. Multinational corporations, the banking systems, and all those who have almost unlimited amount of cash flow. But you will look throughout history. You can study it on the internet or your library. Throughout history, our economies and our people do better under a Democrat or democratically elected president. It's history. It's not partisan. It's history. I believe that it's time to draft Mrs. Michelle Obama. Mrs. Clinton, one more time. Bernie, oh yeah. And of course, Senator Warren. But now back to IMAD and Fawzi and Jeff Stahl and all of you. I see genius in you. And I know there's got to be times when you're thinking, how can you say that? My entire life, I've been overcoming a cash flow challenge. I just failed in my campaign. I just got an F or a very low score on my test. It doesn't matter. You become a failure only when you quit. Only when you throw in the towel. We cannot do that. I think of Ahmed and Fawzi. I think here are two young men, preteen, children, whichever one you want to use, but they are intelligent. They are also of a different faith. And yet, I feel that they are my brothers. Because they are. They are my friends. They are my brothers. They are my uncles or whatever. The women, all of you, are my family too. You see, humanity means that much to me. I don't get on here just to hear myself talk. Believe me, I know it seems that way. I also think there's pretty exciting stuff going on. I think about Cheryl Moore Daniels. In October 2017, Lord willing, she'll be on my TV show. I find it rather interesting considering that she's my sister's friends, and I could just imagine what Diana Rose is going to be saying. It just makes me laugh. But, you know, I think about Cheryl. She's in the church. I believe she might be a minister or a pastor. I could be wrong. I'm not perfect. Hey, if I was perfect, I wouldn't have a comb-over challenge. But, you know, I say what I say to you, and I push you as hard as I can. I think about George. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so I'll say George G., who's been doing his best to get his series to be lifted up into a new direction. I believe in you, George. I know you can do it. I think about Jeff Stahl, a man who's been doing videography. He's been photography and many things. Yet he hasn't reached that level of greatness that he's more than capable of. And I know that you can. I think about myself. I don't have the titles of motivational speaker. I don't have the finances. I'm not a Tony Robbins or anything. But I know that what I'm doing is the right thing to do. I know that Humanity Matters is the right vehicle. It may have a different name, but it will always be, even if it was the Al Torcaso show, not because of arrogance, but because whatever they decide to do, whoever they are. If the networks say we got to go with this, yada, 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 I don't care. As long as I do what I do. And I have something to say to Philip, Frank, Tiny Tim, Jeff, Darlene, Ahmed, Frawlzy, hopefully I have that right, Montez, Rick, Randy, Ron, Alexander. Man, so many of you that's been coming here and to my Facebook Lives, and frankly, I'm surprised every time. I love all of you. So if I didn't mention your name, that's only because right now I can't remember everybody, their name. Gemma, Beth, I think Paul. Of course, there was, I did say Gemma, there was Michelle. And then, of course, a few other people. I believe in you. It's that simple. And I know you can do it. I know that you can. You know, when Les Brown says there's greatness in you, he's got something going. He knows what he's saying. Yes, he does. And when I say to you, there's genius in you, of course. When bad things are happening, you're not going to feel that there's genius in you. If you lost the presidential election, I'm sure Hillary Clinton has no plans, not any, to campaign a third time. And most people would tell her not to. I say you won by 3 million votes almost. I say go for the third time. Go for the fourth time. Go for the fifth time. I don't care. And certainly, Michelle Obama, Senator Elizabeth Warren, or Bernie, each of you must consider going. If all of you or some of you compete against each other, it will be a difficult decision for me. But if that does happen, make no mistake, one of you must choose that other person as your running mate for vice president. If it would have been a Clinton-Sanders ticket, the victory would have been a margin so large, Hillary Clinton, Mrs. Clinton, the victory that you had would not have been 3 million. It would have been more like 10 or 12. If you had teamed up with Senator Sanders, we would not be going through this catastrophe. Former First Lady, Senator and Secretary, Mrs. Clinton. Mrs. Clinton, if there is one mistake I feel that you and your team has done that assured you an uphill battle, it was when you did not bring Senator Sanders. Whether you agree with him politically, maybe you're not friendly with him, it does not matter, because you would have won. It would have been a landslide victory. So let me say this. If Hillary Clinton campaigns for office, and should it occur that Senator Warren or Mrs. Obama campaign, I want to see an all-woman ticket, an all-woman Democratic ticket in 2020. And you shall win. I have a habit of predicting and being correct. I did predict and was wrong about your victory, Mrs. Clinton. But in theory, I was not. You did have more votes. But the time may not have been right. But I say unto you, we must have a woman president. We must have a woman president in the United States of America. Because after all, women have rights too. Let me say in closing to each and every one of you, you may not know this yet, but not only do you have greatness in each and every one of you, but if you will start staying on the path that you will not quit, no matter what, I swear to you, those of you who failed before will succeed now. How do I know? How do I know? Let's just say that I'm in tune with certain things. I'm not a Nostradamus. No. I'm just a guy in a car, in a dark car. Hey, I need some light up in here. But in all seriousness, I know that if we have an all-woman Democratic ticket, Preferably, it would be a Clinton Obama or a Clinton Obama or a Clinton Warren ticket. Or we could even do Obama and Warren, or Warren and Obama, or any of the combination. I don't care how you do it. You know what? Bernie shouldn't be left out of the plate either. But I would prefer an all-women ticket. And we're going to win this time. You can forget about the gerrymandering, the suppressions of the votes. We do this right, ladies and gentlemen, and no dirty tricks. Not even Citizens United will help. Now to Fauzi, Darlene, and Jeff. In your respective careers and future careers for Imad and Fauzi, you're going to surpass all expectations. Philip, you will have your new businesses, and they will succeed. When you believe it, ye shall achieve it. When you believe it, ye shall achieve it.